This is a message to the next me, because if you're hearing this, it means I failed again, and you're about to live a day that shouldn't exist. I know that sounds insane, but let me explain while I still can. It started 3 weeks ago when I got a voicemail at 2:17 a.m. from myself. Not a spam call, not a prank, my voice, my exact voice, shaky, breathless, whispering one terrifying line. Don't go to sleep tonight. If you do, you won't wake up where you belong. It started with a voicemail from a version of myself that doesn't exist. I found it on my phone one morning, timestamped 2:17 a.m. I hadn't touched my phone all night. The message was simple, my own voice, panicked, whispering, "Don't go to sleep tonight. If you do, you'll wake up somewhere wrong." I played it 10 times. The voice was undeniably mine. Same cadence, same lisp on the S's, same scratch when I get nervous. But I didn't remember ever saying those words. I convinced myself it was a prank. Some deepfake, maybe. A glitch. I deleted the voicemail and went to work, brushing off the paranoia crawling up the back of my neck. But everything felt off, slightly rotated, like the world had shifted by a few degrees when I wasn't looking. That evening, I tried to carry on as normal, cooked dinner, read a few chapters of a book I'd sworn I finished already. Plot felt foreign. The pages smelled different. Even the paper felt rougher than I remembered. Then, at exactly 9:03 p.m., my phone rang. Same unknown number. I answered. There was a pause. Then my voice again. "It's happening. You can't stop it, but maybe you can trap it." I froze. "Who are you?" I asked. But the line cut off. I couldn't sleep that night. My eyes kept drifting to the clock, terrified of passing some invisible threshold. I stared at the ceiling until dawn. And that's when I noticed something. The date on my phone. Tuesday, March 14th. But yesterday had also been Tuesday. I checked my journal. Same entry, same outfit, same weather. I stepped outside. The neighbor's dog barked at the same car at the same moment, on the same street. My neighbor wore the same robe and carried the same cup. When I waved, she blinked like I'd surprised her. "Didn't we just..." she mumbled, but she shook it off and went inside. I went to the coffee shop. The barista greeted me like she did every day, only this time she looked confused halfway through. "I thought I saw you this morning," she said, handing me the cup. "Did you come in twice?" "No," I said. "I think I'm losing my mind." She laughed, awkwardly. "Aren't we all?" When I got home, I found a sticky note on my bathroom mirror, my handwriting, but shaky, slanted. "Don't sleep. Not again." I checked the door. It was locked. Windows, too. I live alone. That night, I didn't sleep. I waited. And at 9:03 p.m., the phone rang again. This time, I recorded it. "You didn't listen. You've already let her in." "Who?" I shouted. "Who is she?" But there was only static. That's when I noticed the mirror. Not my reflection, but something behind it. A room that didn't match my bathroom. It was darker, older, the wallpaper peeling, and standing in that room was someone who looked like me, but she was watching me, not copying me, and she was smiling. I backed away. The reflection tilted her head. The voicemail history showed 5 identical calls, each with a slightly different voice, each sounding more exhausted, more fractured.
Then, the new message popped in, even though the phone hadn't rung. Day 14. If you're hearing this, you've looped too far. I didn't know what to believe anymore, so I walked outside, but the world was wrong. There were fewer people, less sound. The wind didn't move the trees. A man stood frozen mid-step, staring at the sky. I approached him slowly. His eyes blinked once, then twice, like a buffering screen. "Do you remember Wednesday?" I asked. He said nothing. Then the sky flickered. Not like lightning, more like frames of a movie skipping. And when I turned around, I saw myself, or another version of me, walking calmly toward me with no emotion in her eyes. I ran. When I got home, the lights were flickering. My books were rearranged. The fridge was full of things I'd never bought. But worst of all, the mirror was gone. In its place was a dark doorway. And from that doorway, she stepped out. Not me, not quite, but made from the same material, same skin, same eyes, only hollow. She looked at me and smiled. "You answered the phone too many times, so now I'm real." I screamed and ran into the bedroom, slamming the door, pushing furniture against it, but there was no sound on the other side. Only silence. Until I saw my reflection again, in the TV screen this time. It mouthed the words, "You're already gone." Since then, every day has been March 14th. I've lived it 100 different ways. I've tried leaving town. I've tried jumping off a bridge. I've even tried burning my apartment down. But every morning, I wake up here. Same voicemail, same time. Sometimes I see other versions of me, staring from reflections, from puddles, from windows. One tried to choke me in my sleep. One cried in the shower. One whispered, "You did this to us." I think there was an original, a version that made the first call. Maybe she thought she could stop it. But now there's too many of us, and not enough exits. Last night, I recorded my own message. "Don't go to sleep tonight. If you do, you'll wake up somewhere wrong." I don't remember recording it, but it was there this morning, so I guess the loop continues, and I'm just the next warning. The girl who screamed into a void and heard her own voice echo back. If you ever did a voicemail from yourself, don't answer the phone. Whatever's on the other end wants out.
I don't know who the original was anymore, or if there ever was one, but I do know this. Every time one of us answers the call, she gets stronger. So if your phone rings at 2:17 a.m., don't pick up. Let her stay trapped in the mirror.